Hi, welcome back to the Blue Moon Garden. I garden here in Normandy, France in Zone 7B. The previous video was all about spring bulbs, but this one is going to be about all the other plants and flowers that really brought this garden to life in the first part of the spring. Enjoy!
I've been chasing beauty and painted gold, but I found the real me in clouds of smoke. And I had a revelation, I should really have more patience. But then I look at the time and I notice I'm behind.
Although spring bulbs generally launch the blooming season, there are many other perennials, shrubs and even trees that bring the garden to life, some of them being earlier than even the earliest bulbs. It's the case for winter heathers, many of which keep blooming late into spring. And if you love heathers but think they're not for you because you don't have acidic soil, I have great news for you. You can still plant many of them. The plants I'm showing you here are amongst the Erica carnea species. And as long as you see carnea written on the heather's name, you're safe to plant it in neutral or even slightly alkaline soil. But remember, they still need good drainage to thrive and offer you this early colorful display. One of the most original flower shapes is that of another early bloomer that will add such a poetic touch to your borders or woodland garden. Bleeding hearts, formerly found under the Latin name Dicentra, have been renamed Lamprocapnos and offer pink, red and white cultivars. Their favorite position in my garden seems to be dappled shade, where Heucheras such as this bright yellow variety and the very pretty Ajuga Burgundy Glow will share their needs. They all seem very happy in the borders where I add a lot of organic matter. I haven't got enough words to praise Brunnera Macrophylla. It is such an early and easy plant to grow. Not only does it produce the sweetest flower, in baby blue or white depending on the variety, but their foliage is the first one to bulk up in my garden, which is very useful to conceal the decaying spring bulbs. Here they'll bloom from March to May, plus their heart-shaped leaves will become huge and remain very ornamental until the first frosts. Cultivars such as Jack Frost or Jack of Diamond carry variegated leaves that bring light to any shaded spot, and they'll also cope with a fair amount of sun if your soil is moist, but beware of afternoon sun that is likely to scorch their leaves. If you're looking for a striking plant to put in a dry sunny spot, Euphorbia characias Wulfenii is your girl. She'll bloom from March to June and won't need any care except cutting the spent blooms. Wear gloves when doing so because her sap is irritating to the skin. I grow her in a pot and forget about her. I love the way she spices my pink tulips. Talking about spice, Geum Scarlet Tempest is loaded with energy and will make any border pop. When studying design, you're often told to add a pinch of a bursting color to any soft arrangement, and I must admit it's so true. Last year, my beloved iris Acoma was reigning alone on this border, being the only bloomer of this bed in early May. He did get a little orange contrast from the Thuja fire chief in his background, and then was joined by the Alliums that opened shortly after, but the whole thing remained mainly in cool shades of blues and whites. And honestly, being a blue and purple lover, I didn't realize my iris was actually missing a warm friend to be complete. Well, let me show you the difference it made when the red geum was added this year. The way this scarlet girl enhances the beauty of the delicate Acoma iris is wonderful, don't you think? I'm so impressed by this combo. If you've seen my previous video, you know I love to marry blue and red, and here's one of my best successes for this color pairing. Contrary to the iris that blooms for a few weeks, the geum will keep flowering until October, offering you many other plant matches to experiment. While the iris Acoma is on his way out, the peonies are ready to open, and I'm expecting quite a show in the coming days. I'd love it if the iris could make it and bloom together with the peonies, but he generally finishes before they flower. I'll make sure to bring you images of peonies in full bloom in the next video, but for now, let's enjoy the expectation and watch the colors starting to show through their huge buds. By the way, don't worry if you see your peonies covered in ants. It's just that they love the sweet sap produced by the flower, but they don't harm them in any way. The allium season has started here with the white Mount Everest, which surprised me because I generally get Globemaster and Purple Sensation blooming first. I was happy though, since Mount Everest is a fantastic match for Iris Acoma. Later we should have Allium Ambassador and Gladiator blooming into June and even July, but I'm not impatient yet. I love this time of spring when everything looks so fresh and the outside temperatures make it quite easy to work in the garden. If you like pretty little creepers, though I don't have many that flower this early, I'll show you two generous bloomers. Phlox subulata Emerald Cushion Blue, a good evergreen ground cover for sunny dry spots. And Aubrieta Blaumeise, also a cascading or creeping plant, great for rock gardens or containers that you forget to water. Now, about plants that bring beauty mostly with their foliage, I was looking for a very special tree and recently found it. So just 2 months ago, we finally installed a new baby that I'm so in love with. It's the Redbud Carolina Sweetheart. The beauty of her leaves is unreal. Its multicolored lace is almost transparent and changes every day. I haven't done it yet, but I'm considering adding the Geum Mai Tai around her feet because I think their colors would match perfectly. While many plants are still bare, some guys are literally glowing with pride, such as Philadelphus aureus, who will later on also produce the most beautifully scented flowers. No scented blooms for Sorbaria Matcha Ball, but a very special shape and colors that change throughout the season. For more contrast, I enjoy pairing his pointy leaves with plants that carry rounded foliage. But the stars of colorful foliage have to be the Japanese maples. The lime green Shidawa Gold is the ideal neighbor for Dissectum Garnet, both being quite truthful to their names and perfect highlights for a woodland or semi-shaded border. Climbers also have their early blooming representative, and the earliest here are Clematis Mrs Cholomondelev, climbing up a lilac, thus prolonging the flowering in this shrub, and Clematis montana Maylene, which received the RHS Award of Garden Merit, and I can totally understand why. So if you have an old tree but don't want to take it out, why not plant a Clematis that will wrap herself around him and offer you a totally new display? Probably a very long time ago, owners of the property had planted a wisteria directly on the facade of the house. I feel so grateful for this. Not only does it hang gracefully in front of my window, but it also brings the sweetest fragrance to the terrace and into our home. I don't know the cultivar's name, so if you recognize her, please share in the comments. You may have noticed that I write the plants' names on tags, but I do have some tags missing since there were already a few marvels installed here before we came. For instance, this rhododendron that grows in our heavy clay soil is quite a stunner. Its buds release pink blooms that then turn white with an orange dotted pattern on the upper petal. The leaves don't look perfectly healthy, and I don't know if it's because of our soil's pH or if some small insect is stinging the leaves. Anyway, it's so beautiful and pollinators seem to love him too. We've also inherited this wonderful little guy whose furry buds start swelling in March, even before winter has hardly ended. This is a Magnolia stellata, its name referring to the star-shaped flowers that grow on the bare wood and will brighten up any space in the garden. Contrary to his large tree brothers, this magnolia is a compact shrub, allowing you to install him in the smallest yards. The flowers only last a few weeks, but after the blooms are spent, he produces a very nice chartreuse foliage, and we love that.